Okay, there we go. I just realised there's no fucking audio. Falador, how you going? Can you hear me now? Thank you for letting me know because I don't know what the hell. Like the mic's plugged in and everything, and just had it set to the wrong bloody one for some reason. Anyway, you've just saved me streaming this whole thing on mute. Most of what I was saying anyway was just checking that I had a bloody account. This is the issue with streaming on multiple different channels now. Every time I change channel for a stream, I have to freaking redo all the settings. So I feel like this is going to be somewhat common, that there's going to be some sort of issue. I actually need to add that to, where we go. I need to I've got a to-do list for when I fire up the streams, and yeah, I've added that. I've added to check the freaking mic every time. It didn't happen last time, so I didn't even think to check it. Like I had to do the same thing last week. But let us bring up the voting, lads. Let's jump right into it. Let me just get rid of the freaking my Twitter right now. Okie dokie. Actually, no, I need that up. Am I dumb? There we go. Okay, lads. Let's start the voting, shall we? I should also unmute the desktop in case I play any trailers or anything. It's thrown us straight into the freaking. I thought the game of the year was the final vote, but clearly not. I'm just gonna also move my webcam kind of out of the way a little bit. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okie dokie. Well, man, I kind of want to save this one for last. I think I'm going to skip it, and I think we do that last. So we've got best game direction. I should also read the actual. It's got these descriptions because you could take game direction, whatever. You could spin that your own way. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovative in-game direction and design. This one is kind of tough, but I'm thinking probably Zelda because of all the like craft, or not even, I don't know if you call it crafting. I didn't play Zelda. All the building stuff that you could do where you could just make your own. People were making like boats and shit out of nothing. That to me is really pretty insane for them to have done that, when I also haven't played, to be fair, I've only literally played Spider-Man out of these, but everything I've heard about all of these are really good, but it's not, they haven't done anything, wild. So I'm probably going to go The Legend of Zelda, I think. Oh, it's actually cool. You can also share these on, maybe I'll do that at the end of the stream. You can share it on Twitter, or X as you call it. Next category. We're going to have to go all the way back through all of these. Surely you can yeah, you can view all categories. Okay, that's good. Save game of the year at the end, like I said. Best narrative. I'm going to have to go with Spider-Man, and again, there's a lot of these that I haven't played. But the Spider-Man storyline was really, really good. Alan Wake 2, from everything that I've heard about it, could probably be the next vote. And then I think Baldur's Gate 3 and Cyberpunk are probably pretty even. From what I've heard of Final Fantasy, it was a really, really good game, but the story wasn't as strong. So it's kind of weird that this was actually nominated. That's also just from the people I've talked to. I'm just gonna have to go with Spider-Man for that. I think it's hard. It's really, when it comes to the story, it's hard to like give an opinion on games I haven't played. When it comes to like story, I mean game elements and mechanics and stuff, I feel like you don't need to have played it to discuss it. But the story is a little bit hard to judge when I haven't played them. Best art direction. I think I want to kind of go one of these two. I don't know. Liza P is not so much to do with just the art. It's more just I guess that falls under it. Outstanding creative and or technical achievement. Oh, technical achievement. Okay. In artistic design and animation. Because that's not so much just to do with the actual like art itself or the style of the game. It's more the concept of what the hell. It's like a Pinocchio game. Like, it's pretty mental. But everything I've seen of Hi-Fi Rush looks absolutely sick too. And you can even just tell from all the pictures, like, that has the most interesting art style. Not that this is just about the art style, but I think I want to go for that, because that everyone was saying that should have been nominated for actual Game of the Year, and it got 5 nominations, but it didn't actually, like, it didn't. I think it had 5, and Resident Evil had 3, and it didn't even get a Game of the Year nomination. So pretty wild. So I think I'm going to vote for Hi-Fi Rush there. I haven't played most of the nominees either, so I have to. Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like, this is why I started the gaming channel, was to. I want to be able to have, like, my goal next year is to have played essentially every game that is nominated for anything. Like, I want to play pretty much every game, every big game that comes out next year, which is probably going to be unrealistic, to be completely honest. But this year I just didn't have the time to play many games until the end of the year once I started this channel. So there's a lot here that I just haven't played, and it's hard to vote on. But I do also have my finger on the pulse of the gaming industry a fair bit, so I do hear a lot from a lot of. It's not just from like one person, one YouTuber or something. I pay a lot of attention to a lot of, like, there's a lot of creators as well as a lot of the, not so much, I was going to say IGN. I don't really pay attention to IGN at this rate, but yeah, there's a lot of people that I listen to that are very balanced in their opinions and stuff, so I feel like I can gather some sort of information from it. But also, having not played a lot, it's hard to truly know, I think. That's best art direction. Vic in the chat, my man. Oh, what the hell? It was logged into the. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I guess because you were just uploading a video. I was going to say, I thought we fixed that, how it, like, would make you comment from the channel. That's so weird. But I guess you were just logged in. Boss is a dickhead. Yeah, I can't disagree with that, if I'm honest. Best score and music. Once again, very hard to. Should we listen to? Maybe we should pull up some of the soundtracks, the main theme from each game. That's probably fair, because it's hard to really say. I know the Zelda soundtrack is elite, just from like back in the day. Final Fantasy, I saw a lot of gameplay, and like the score did stand out quite a bit. But I feel like it's unfair to. Yeah. Let me pull up. Let's go Alan Wake 2. We'll just do the main theme from each game. Okay. Do an avatar. There we go. Hey, there's me. We're in the suggested, boys. Wait, what? This is an actual song. I thought it would be like a theme. I feel like that's... very hard to compare to like the theme song from most like Zelda doesn't have fucking actual lyrics and shit. Okay, well we've heard enough of that for now. Let me know too if that audio is too loud. I don't know because I haven't actually used desktop audio on the stream for a good minute. Baldur's Gate 3 main theme. This is probably going to be... This is still not really enough to freaking know what to vote for, is it, boys? But let's be honest. I feel like it was going to be this or Zelda. Yeah, weird song for Alan Wake. I didn't expect that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe too loud because it's looking at the audio bars. I'll turn it down just a tad. So yeah, I love this type of music. This is my shit. It's like a bit of God of War, bit of Skyrim style. I guess it's just anything that's like fantasy kind of. I really want to play this game, man. I just started the channel just too late to be playing this. My workout playlist. I do actually have a playlist of just gaming soundtracks. I'm thinking this, man. I'm thinking I like this. Get that shit out of the way so I can see the next one. Final Fantasy fucking 16 XVI main theme. So far, Baldur's Gate's in the lead. I knew that would be good just because that's the type of game that has good soundtrack. Okay, we got Final Fantasy. Baldur's Gate sounds like you're going into an epic battle or something. Yeah, yeah. I didn't expect that from Alan Wake because that's meant to be kind of like a... I don't know if you call it a horror, but it's a bit like a thriller. I didn't realize it would have actual like lyrics in that. I thought it would just be like some scary theme. I haven't played the first Alan Wake either though, so maybe I've just got no idea what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. I just never actually... I never was interested in the first one. I'm only interested in this one because it's done really well. Like it's been... Everyone's just saying it's unreal. Okay, this is not terrible, but it's not that good either. Hi-Fi Rush. I really like the look of this game, man. And again, this is such a small sample size to try and judge off. Oh, this is terrible. This isn't the type of game that has like a lit soundtrack, so it was never gonna be good. Surely it gets a bit more. Nah, okay, that's shit. The game looks cool, but that's fucking ass. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom main theme. It's that annoying that I gotta move this off screen just to make it quicker to see it. Give this will be lit. Everyone knows the Zelda theme. I don't know how different it'll be though. Come on, get to the good bit. Everyone, this is the most replayed section. We'll just skip to the good part. Can't even really remember how similar this is to the originals. Like, I know the theme. It's pretty goated. I'm thinking Baldur's Gate 3 though. I think that's one up for me. Yeah, Zelda theme's goated. I don't want to disrespect that shit. That game is lit, but Baldur's Gate gets my vote. I will say, I'm surprised by this list. Firstly, I would have thought Spider-Man 2 would make it. Not that I necessarily agree with that, because I just think the main theme of that game was absolutely unreal, but then the rest of the soundtrack wasn't anything crazy. But I'm surprised that didn't make it. I'm also surprised, and this just could be my bias, a lot of you guys know me, I'm a Star Wars fan. Surprised Survivor didn't make it for the soundtrack, because don't tell me that the Star Wars theme, whether it's the main theme or just not any, but like most Star Wars music, is up there with the best in any franchise. So kind of salty that didn't make it. I knew it wouldn't be nominated for really anything, but I'm a little bit salty about that, I won't lie. But that is, what have we done so far? We've done game direction, best narrative. Oh, that's pretty cool too. You can actually see what I've voted for. So I voted Zelda for best game direction. Best narrative was Spider-Man. Best art direction, Hi-Fi Rush. Baldur's Gate 3. I've had a pretty good little spread so far. I'm not trying to... I like to do that. I don't like to just put all my votes into like my favourite game. Because for me, I'd probably say Spider-Man 2 is my favourite game of this year. But I also don't think it's worth winning every fucking category either. So we're on to best audio design. This is just that I was just talking about Survivor. It is absolute blasphemy that Jedi Survivor did not make this. I genuinely think that game has some of the best audio design of all time. I'm out here sounding like fucking Kanye West to Taylor Swift. I just cannot believe that it wasn't in there, man. I know it's a lot of people would never put it even close to their Game of the Year nomination. I'm not saying that. It's not, for me, it's not either, but the audio design in that game, the force abilities, that I actually remember streaming it, and the freaking audio designer, one of them, was in the chat, and we were having a really good chat about it, and that the quality of that game's audio design is just, I'm genuinely shook that it ain't in here, but we move. So the description for this one is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Pretty obvious. Not sure about this one. I'm kind of leaning towards Dead Space because I didn't play the remake, but I played the original Dead Space, and even then, that audio design was fucking unreal. Vic says corner cam is fire, by the way. Hey, I've actually changed. I'll show you what I mean. I've changed it, so I've got the like tall one here. If I go to the gameplay, which would just be a black screen because my PlayStation isn't on, it's like wider, and then we've obviously got the full screen one as well. Well, it's not full screen, but it's like the full width one. So I went all out, and I've got 3 different sizes for the webcams, which is probably seems easy. That took me that long to do that because you've got to have it all set up in a pretty mental way to have that working. Been stuck on the second stage Ravis boss fight. Oofed. That fight is so much fun, man. Honestly, stick with it. It's once you're entering the best part of the game too. It only gets better from there. And I do think that's one of the hardest as well. So I don't want to spoil anything for you. There are some at the end that are fucked in the head. Very, very hard. I can't say who it is, but it's worth getting past, man. That game is fucking elite. I honestly think any other year Survivor gets nominated for Game of the Year. It's just this year was too stacked. And it had its like launch issues and stuff. I just want to watch some Dead Space gameplay. And we'll listen to the audio design just because I feel like I can't judge that without having watched the recent stuff. Well, like I played the original, and my god, the audio design in this game is just elite. So thrilling. Listen to the music and the little violin noises and shit. Like it's I think it already gets my vote. I just wanted to watch some gameplay of it. If you guys like horror and you haven't played Dead Space, go and play that shit. This game is fucking insane. It's like really good too. It's not just scary. It's actually like a legitimately good game. Oh man, I missed that gun. Spread out lasers and shit on it. It's almost like he spent a shit ton of time on this over the last few weeks. Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many freaking hours I spent on it. But like, listen to every detail in this game. It's like they've put a lot of effort into the audio design. It's not just the remake. The original 3 were all really good. Even that part right there, like the little bass of when the guy appears on screen. I know that's not groundbreaking, but it's just like, it's just, you can feel it when you're in this game. That's what I love about it. But yeah, I think that gets my vote. I obviously, like I said, I haven't played. Spider-Man 2 was pretty decent. Oh, the gameplay is quiet now, is it? Rip. Oh, I guess, yeah, I guess the turn it back up. I guess with the soundtrack, it's always a bit louder, isn't it? Freaking annoying. I wish everything just had the same audio level. It's so annoying. You know that better than anyone, Vic, when we edit, and it's like, we've got all our settings perfect, but then there's just fucking something that you got to change for some reason. Okay, what are we on to next? Best performance. Now, this is going to be so incredibly biased. I'm going to give an explanation here. I think Yuri wins it. I really do. If Cam Monaghan doesn't win it, I'm going to be so depressed. His performance as Cal was fucking unbelievable. He took a character that I didn't really care that much for from Fallen Order. I didn't dislike Cal, but I wasn't in love with him. I was just like, yeah, he's a decent character. And he took that character and turned him into probably one of my top 10 or 15 favorite Star Wars characters. Like, that is pretty hard to do in Star Wars for me. So, for me, I'm going to vote for Cam, but I will say that Yuri probably wins it because of the symbiote stuff. And I think he deserves it too, even though I think I want Cam to win it. Yuri deserves it as much as anyone. And yeah, Vic says, if Idris Elba came onto me, I'm not sure I could say no. I kind of agree there, to be honest. I haven't played Phantom Liberty, but he's just such a good actor that he's he's got to be the best actor in this lineup in terms of none of these other people are in like big movies and shit, really. I mean, Cam Monaghan's an actual TV and film actor too, but realistically, he's probably the best actor. But in terms of it's not best actor, is it? It's best performance. I got to go with Cam. And I know that's biased. I know most people will be like, no, mate, what are you talking about? But he sold me on Cal Kestis. Remembering now that I bought Phantom Liberty but never played. Oh, what the hell? I thought you'd started, but there you go. This is another one. Okay, I know I'm just talking about Survivor a lot. I want to make it clear I'm not actually like a full bias on Survivor. I don't think it deserves to be in the Game of the Year conversation. It did a lot of things really good. The accessibility in that game was really good. Like, a lot of stuff helping people with disabilities and stuff like that. I'm kind of shook that it's not in here. Again, I haven't played most of these games, so I don't know the level of accessibility that they have. This one's hard to vote on. I'm probably just going to have to go with Spider-Man. Then again, I don't think Spider-Man had that much. Now that I think of it. Software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Yeah, I don't think Spider-Man did that much to like help disabled players and stuff. I don't know. Because that's the only one I've played. I feel like I can't vote on the rest. Maybe Forza, because I do know that they did a lot of this stuff pops up. You would probably know, Vic, because of Alana Pierce. She's really big on accessibility stuff. He said, you're also not disabled. Yeah, fair. I'm not disabled, so most people who aren't disabled wouldn't pay attention to this stuff. That's what I'm saying, where Alana Pierce, because she's so in tune with it, she runs like the Accessibility Game Awards. And so because I see all her stuff on my timeline, I think that's why I pay more attention to it than I probably need to, because I don't need any of these things. I'm probably going to go Forza because I did see a lot of good stuff about that when it launched. Thought Phantom Liberty, I just said. Liberty is a DLC, not a whole separate game. No, it's pretty much a separate game, but it's like almost not a relaunch. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a proper expansion pack. It's not like a DLC. You know, like back in the day when they'd have like Age of Empires and then they'd have like, I think it was Age of Empires, Age of Kings or some shit. They almost rebrand the game. So now Cyberpunk is kind of called Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Kind of. It's hard to explain because it realistically is DLC, but it's almost like that is now the main game, and they also did a huge up. Like the game actually plays real different than what it used to, apparently. So yeah, it's real hard to explain. It's not a new game, but it's not just DLC either. Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with pro social meaning or message. This one's, I mean, I don't know, I can't vote on these because I literally have never heard of any of these. I don't know. I have no idea what to vote for. That one looks cool. It's got animals. I'll vote for that one, I think. There's always ones like this that I just vote for whatever the fuck. Can't even pronounce three of them. Yeah. I mean, what the hell? I'm sure they're all great. Like they're games that are like got a bit of meaning behind them. That's awesome. But I ain't played them, unfortunately. So you can buy and play Phantom Liberty without 2077. I don't think you can, but I think that's kind of what I mean. I think you can't actually buy 2077 on its own. I could be wrong. I think that is now I think that's like now part of the game, because I've seen a lot of games do that before as well. Almost think of it as the same way as the Celebration Edition of Battlefront 2, where you actually can no longer buy Battlefront 2. You have to buy the Celebration Edition. It's kind of the same concept, although it's a bit harder with that because that didn't add DLC that you couldn't get if you didn't have the base game. I don't know how to describe it. Sturm, my man, what's going on? Finished Phantom Liberty yesterday. There you go. What timing. Absolutely worth a play. Incredible. I've heard really good things. I haven't even played the base game, man. Like, I really need to get around to it. I was so keen for it, and then with the launch of it, it just went off my radar. And then even for like a year now, I've been hearing it's like really good, but I just haven't had the time. It's shit like my backlog now with this channel, because I'm going to be covering all the new games. It's going to be so hard, man, to like play old games, which is going to kind of suck. I haven't even played Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. There's so many games that are like must plays that I just haven't had the time. And unless I just crunch, like I don't know if I can. I don't know. All right, we're on to best ongoing. I'm going to have to go Fortnite, as much as it a little bit pains me. I could go Cyberpunk. The thing is, that is the final update for it. So like they're kind of moving on from Cyberpunk now. They may do like, bug updates and stuff, but it's the last like DLC type of update for that game. Whereas Fortnite in freaking 3 years will still be going. I think to be fair, have to vote Fortnite. It's done pretty mental things especially like the shooter industry. So Cyberpunk would get my vote if it was like an ongoing game, but the thing is, like, it's not. It's now like finished. So I think I've got to go with that. Not to say I think Fortnite's a better game than Cyberpunk. I just think they've done a bit of a madness, man, with that game. The fact it's still so popular, pretty mental. Ked, what's going on, man? What's going on? We were just voting for Game of the Year, my man. We've done, what's that? I can't even count, but Best game direction, best narrative, best art direction, best score and music, best audio design, best performance, innovation in accessibility, games for impact, best ongoing. Yeah, you voted for Fortnite as well. It's kind of this. I'm not like a big Fortnite fan. I'm also not a hater. I just think it's like, I just don't really care about it, to be honest. But it's done an absolute madness in the gaming industry. Like, it's done some pretty crazy stuff, and the fact it's still so big is pretty insane when you think about it. And yeah, like bringing back the old players and stuff too. That's like, they just did the new or the old map. They brought back the OG map. Like, that's pretty mental. That everyone I know who used to play Fortnite was back on Fortnite the other week when they dropped the original map. Vic says, got some good categories coming up. I was planning on just giving you a hard time while stream. I'm actually locked in now. There's some good shit. See, I thought Game of the Year was voted last, but it's the first one, so I actually skipped it because I want to save that for last. And like some of these, man, this best esports shit, I don't really give a fuck about any of that. I'll just vote for, if I know someone in that category, I'll just vote for them. Best community support. Now, this one is quite ironic because Destiny 2 should not be in this list because Sony just laid off half of Bungie fucking studio. So that is just so ironic that they're put in here for the best community support and they just fired like the whole community team behind that game. So that is not getting my vote. If I could do an anti-vote, I would vote for fucking Destiny 2. Best community support. For me, it feels weird that Baldur's Gate is in there. I guess I should read the description. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency. Okay. Transparency and responsiveness. Inclusive of social media activity and game updates. Okay. See, now that makes it different because I was just thinking community support meaning like the best updates after launch, but social media activity. Baldur's Gate 3 was popping online. Like, they were doing a lot of funny, like just really interacting with the community. I'm probably going to have to go Cyberpunk for this one. The fact they've turned that around so much, I think I got to do that. No Man's Sky, the fact that that's again nominated for this category is pretty mental as well. Best indie game. Now, I can't remember. Dave the Diver. There's been some freaking controversy, boys, around this one. This is not an indie game. This is made by some huge, I think Chinese or maybe Japanese company. Like, not this. This is the studio, but the parent company of that studio is apparently worth like $260 billion or something ridiculous. So I've seen a lot of discourse around that. I'm probably going to have to go Sea of Stars. That game looks absolutely sick. It's really the only other one that I know as well. Oh, no, I've seen View. Actually, is this that freaking... Hang on. Viewfinder. Is that fucking one where the... Man, that's added a bit of... Let me get this up for you boys if you haven't seen it. This is what Viewfinder is. I'm sure some of you have seen this. It's pretty insane. So you take photos and then like...
It's been a while since someone's wandered
I don't care
about
the freaking story. I just want to see...
And wanderers.
Oh, it's showing some now. So yeah, you take photos and then it just like puts it into the map, and it's absolutely, some of this shit is actually mind blowing. So then you can just walk through, like, it's mental. This game actually blows my mind. I don't even understand half of what's going on. This isn't even the best. I need to find like a better...
The founders left plenty of records of their work here.
better example. I'll see what there might be some good
In
shit.
case they were to ever come back.
It's not the best example, this
surprised
trailer.
you made it this far.
Surely there's some like
It's quite exciting.
viewfinder gameplay. Oh, this is just the one that I just watched. 3-minute review. Well, watch this. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but just
Lost the technology that has the power to save the world.
so
Joining you is your partner Jesse and an AI cat friend named Kate.
2.57 trillion. Okay.
What makes Viewfinder so interesting isn't
I was
its
way
story,
off.
though. Sad Owl's soft romp through a virtual world challenges players.
Nexon, their revenue is in the
literally
hundreds
think
of billions.
outside the
Maybe
box
that's the
with
number I got.
perspective-based
200
puzzles.
odd.
This often
in
involves
revenue.
a camera that can
That's
capture images
fucked.
of the environment and then reproduce.
But yeah, look at this shit, man.
The
Look.
results of such a novel mechanic can be, frankly, pretty mind-blowing. With footage of
Look at
some
that.
tools having attracted viral
Just making maps
However, it's
in
worth
front of him.
asking, are these perspective shifting tools nothing more than a cheap gimmick? I'm thrilled to report the answer is a confident no.
It's
Viewfinder is split between
freaking.
5 worlds that each focus on different
I don't know, man.
characters
This
and
game, I think
each
I have to go this
Some
over
sections start out simple enough as Sad Owl
Sea of
asks
Stars, even though
players
that
to
game looks
accomplish
absolutely
tasks
sick
that
too.
See them rotating photographs and collecting batteries to progress. What follows is a campaign with a steady progression of ideas that are
I
naturally
want to see,
introduced
like,
in a way
there's
that
some
most
mantle
levels seem
stuff
to
I've
be
seen
made
from
with
this
one
on
or two
Twitter.
solutions in mind. But at least for the majority of the
And
experience,
then
there are
you,
few
like, look at this.
restrictions on
Oh,
how you
man.
use
I
your
think I
tools
gotta
to
vote for
solve
this game.
puzzles. Even later levels,
Just because I think
basic
everyone, I think
characters
Sea of
can't be
Stars will win
copied
it.
have some degree
So
of freedom.
I'm going Viewfinder, boys. I think that game is probably one of the more mind-blowing games I've ever seen. And it's an indie game. Faldor said, I also understood that as post-launch additions for accessibility. I thought they meant playable for more lower systems. It's kind of everything, I guess. But accessibility is a lot to do with like helping people who have disabilities of all kinds. It can be people who aren't able to use controllers, like a regular controller, so you can put some sort of system into the game that allows them to just make it easier for people with those sorts of disabilities, or like even people who have some level of deafness, for example. Is deafness a word? Surely that's a word. Some people who are partly deaf, allowing them to have some sort of system or settings in the game that allows them to hear the game better, or you can feel the vibration through the controller more to give you more like information, stuff like that. Just helping people with whatever kind of disabilities to be able to play the game. That's mostly what accessibility is, I think. No worries, Falador. Appreciate you tuning in, man. You have a good rest of your day. Best debut indie game. I'm going to just go for Viewfinder again. It's kind of weird that they have... How is that any different than best... Oh, this isn't technically indie. Even though I feel like, is that not what indie means? Independent? For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. But then for the best debut game created by an independent studio. I don't really... That just sounds like different wording for the same thing. I'm just going to go Viewfinder again, to be honest. It's a weird... I feel like that's not two categories right there. Ooh. Best mobile game. I've heard really good things about Monster Hunter, and I do like the like console version, so I'm probably going to go that just because I've never played the others. Didn't realize that Terranil game was a mobile game. It's on Netflix too, what the hell? It's one of them Netflix games. What do we got next? Best VR and AR. I've probably got to go Horizon. Oh, I don't know. Resident Evil VR looked sick. Yeah, no, I think I've got to probably go that. That game looks really good for VR because it's such a like pretty looking game. But Man, Resident Evil looked pretty mental. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Again, I don't have VR. I haven't played any of them. I'm just going off what I've seen. Best action game. Ooh. Dead Island 2 nominated for this. Okay. Interesting. It's got to be between Armored Core and Hi-Fi Rush for me. Once again, I haven't played any of those two. Armored Core looked like, I'm a big fan of FromSoft, so I'm probably going to go that. I voted Hi-Fi Rush earlier for something. Best action adventure. Now, the Star Wars simp in me wants to vote for that, but it's unfortunately it just isn't the best one. I'm going to go Spider-Man because I haven't played Zelda. Now, Zelda probably is I think that will place higher in Game of the Year itself, and even potentially Alan Wake. But I'm going Spider-Man. That shit was unreal. What do we got next? Best RPG. Oh, Starfield did get nominated for this. Okay. Interesting. This one's tough because, firstly, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. Everything I've heard about that game, I think it's winning Game of the Year. But I do think Starfield is being underappreciated, or I nearly said underlooked, overlooked, because this year it won't do that well for all of these awards and stuff. But if you look at all these games, I guarantee in 5 years from now, the one that people will still be playing is Starfield. And I think that that's not going to get credited because it won't be in for... I mean, it might be in for like best supported game in 5 years, for example. But outside of that, it won't be included in the best RPG in 5 years from now. And so right now, I would say Baldur's Gate 3. But I just think the game I will remember of every game that came out this year, maybe the exception being Spider-Man and Survivor because I'm a Star Wars fan. I know for a fact that in 10 years, the one I'll remember the most is Starfield because it's the one I will play the most by then. But I think I still have to probably go Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. I just think Starfield's been massively underlooked. Underlooked. I just said it again. Overlooked. Best game designed with rich player character customization and progression. Is that really all that they are using as the definition for best RPG? Rich player character customization and progression. I guess that is really the only thing that determines an RPG, but it's just weird that... okay, I've kind of read it wrong though. It's the best game that was designed with rich player. Okay, yeah, I'd probably go Baldur's Gate 3. I really do think Starfield deserves a lot of these nominations though. Best fighting. Ooh. Heard some very good things about Street Fighter. I haven't really heard much about Mortal Kombat 1. I know Mortal Kombat's like known as the best fighter, but I think I'll go Street Fighter for this. Just I've seen a lot of people were actually saying it should be nominated for freaking the actual game of the year. So I find that interesting, but this one is super obvious. Super Mario by Country Mile. Best sim strategy. Is there Company of Heroes 3? Surely fucking not. I did not know that. When the fuck did that come out? Oh, 2 years ago. What the hell? How is that nominated for this year's Game of the Year? Oh, there's single player campaigns that are coming out this year. Okay. Let me... Let me just watch this trailer. I used to love, I think it was Company of Heroes 2. I did not know this shit was even out. I haven't really played these type of games in ages.
Enemy target destroyed. Don't let him advance, lads.
This looks a lot better than the one I used to play though. Which should be, that was like freaking 10 years ago.
Close the gap.
Probably more than that, actually.
Artillery incoming.
Man, I would have loved this game as a kid. It's not really my type of game anymore. Like, I mean, that said, I was just playing Age of Empires with the missus like a few weeks ago, but they don't scratch my itch as much as I used to, but I used to love these type of games. Interesting. Anyway. I mean, I'm probably just going to go for that, because fucking goated franchise. I haven't really played or heard of the others. Or I've heard of some of them, but I haven't played them, obviously. Best sports and racing. Probably going to go Forza. I don't want to vote for FIFA, or it's not called FIFA anymore, but that's the one I like the most. I play a lot of FIFA every year, but I understand the downsides to it. It's almost scammy in a way. Forza is a really good franchise. I think I've got to go that. I've heard decent things about F1 as well, but I think I'll go Forza. Best multiplayer. What, mate? This is like the least games I think of when I think of multiplayer games. What the hell? It's weird. What the hell? There we go. Including co-op and MMO. So like Diablo's MMO. It's weird. I don't think of MMO as multiplayer, even though it literally is and says in the title of that. Diablo, I think that actually should have got nearly nominated for Game of the Year in general. So because Baldur's Gate is probably going to win everything else, I'm going to go for Diablo, surprisingly. I've never even played Diablo, but it does look pretty cool to me. Don't even have to look. So much better than every other adaptation. The Last of Us is, I think that's one of the better shows ever made. Like top 10 or so shows ever made. Most anticipated game. Now, this is biased as fuck. I'm going to go Star Wars Outlaws. Realistically, it's probably one of those two. I don't know, though. It is Star Wars. Maybe I'm almost like anti-bias in that I think that's just my bias, when in reality, a lot of people like Star Wars. Like, that could actually be one of the most anticipated, but it's probably Hades too. I'm going for Outlaws though, but I think Hades 2 probably wins, considering how good the first game did. Hunter's been nominated 5 years in a row. Oh my god. Pain. Content Creator of the Year. Who the fuck are these people? I know Cypher. I'm just voting for Cypher because I don't know anyone else. I do like Cypher. I used to like watch a lot of his content when he was playing a bit of Warzone and stuff. Best esports game. Ooh. PUBG Mobile. What the actual fuck? I do like Valorant. I'm a shooter guy. It's very biased just picking one of them. It's going to be one of those two. It's a mobile game. You can't be doing esports on a fucking mobile, can you? And then they're kind of just in it every year. So I'm going to just not vote for them. I'm going to go Valorant. I think Valorant's pretty fun. Best esports athlete. Do I know any of these people? Hey, I do know Imperial Hell. Actually, he was sponsored by Glitch, same time as me. Fuck yeah, that's pretty cool actually. The definition of athlete. What even is it? The esports athlete judge. They're not athletes, mate. I mean, look. To be fair, in the actual definition of athlete, because golf players and fucking darts players are athletes. So I do genuinely, and this might sound dumb, I do genuinely think that playing pro COD is probably physically as hard as playing golf. I'm not even joking, because you'd be sweating your dick off. And like, don't tell me none of you have ever had, like, you've never had sore hands playing a game before. Imagine doing it all day, every day. It is actually probably harder than we think, but still, compare these dudes to fucking like LeBron James and shit. It's actually embarrassing that they're called athletes at the end of the day. But going off the actual definition of athlete, they technically are. Heard someone recently differentiate between sports and games, where bowling and golf are in the games category. Yeah, like, because golf isn't. I don't know. I'm not going to say golf's not a sport. It's, you walk a long way and you are hitting a ball. It's no different than like cricket or something. But I don't know. It's just, yeah. There's different levels of sport. Hey, Saldair. What is going on? Popping in to say hi. This is my first break in all-day meetings. Oofed. Haven't even been able to grab my laptop. That sounds like a rough day. Appreciate you tuning in though. We're not even far from the end actually. So might be able to hang around till we finish up. I'm just gonna go Imperial Hell because I know that I say know him as if I know him personally. I've been in calls with him is as far as I can go with that. Best esports team. Ooh. I do know Evil Geniuses. I think I know Vitality as well, maybe. I don't know the rest of these. Let's go them. Not really that interesting. I used to pay a little bit of attention to esports, but not, I don't know. Best esports coach. I don't know any of these dudes. This guy's got, it's a girl, got Potter in her name. I did just vote for Evil Geniuses, so Harry Potter can get my vote. Wait, is this the last? Well, I'll not pop that up on screen. That's weird. Best esports event. Ooh. I always hear that Evo is massive. I haven't really heard of some of the other, like Blast TV. I've never heard of that. And the rest are just like specific championships. I'm probably going to go Evo, I think. But that is, yeah, what? That's all of them. Now we go to Game of the Year, boys, and this is, I'm really not sure what I want to go here. I'm really not sure what I want to go here. Let me give my reasoning, all right? For me, funnily enough, the only game I've played of this list, because I only started being able to play these games, that's why I started this channel, is Spider-Man 2. It's the only one on this list that I've actually played. I played Breath of the Wild, so I've played the prequel to that. And I will be playing Mario eventually, but I haven't played it yet. So for me, it kind of feels logical that it's the only one that I've played, and I do very highly rate Spider-Man. It's in my top 5 of all time. Or top 5, like, best games anyway. But I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win, and that might sound dumb because I haven't played. You're probably thinking like, why the fuck do you want a game you haven't played to win over a game that's in your top 5? We don't need Spider-Man 2 to do well. That's a big game. It's a Sony exclusive. It's already big. This game came out of absolutely fucking nowhere, and they took a long time to make this game. They did this the right way. They didn't crunch. They didn't like rush to get this game out. And it's now been nothing but a success. And I want that to win because I want all these other fucking greedy companies like EA, Activision, all those companies to look at that. If that wins Game of the Year, that's a massive win for a game that did it the right way. It didn't even like overly market itself. It just released a really fucking good game that they genuinely put their like love into that game, and I think that's the most important thing when you're making a game is like just being passionate about it, not trying to make the most money and not trying to rush it out the door to make the investors happy and shit. So although I think like for me, logically I would vote for that and I would be more than happy if that wins. Realistically, I want any of these to win except for Resident Evil 4 because that's a remake. Like, get in the bin with that. But I think I'm going to go Baldur's Gate 3 because I just want that to win. I want that, like, the happy story of this game that just kind of came out of nowhere. And I want them to kind of show the industry. Because when you look at it, most Game of the Year winners are like the big, greedy companies, right? It's not so much the case with Baldur's Gate 3. It's been probably a lot of people were saying this is probably the game of the decade already. Like, people are saying this will be the best game of this decade. There's nothing that will beat it. And I want these companies to, not that it probably will help, but I want them to see that and go, oh, okay, maybe we don't have to rush our games out like Cyberpunk and all this stuff and just release good games that people want to play, and then that can be the standard going forward. Wishful thinking on my part, because those companies don't give a fuck at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, Vic just said the same thing. Dare say Activision and friends will still choose money. Yeah, 100%. It's also maybe, Activision's maybe not the best example because they just mostly do like COD. And at the end of the day, COD is a money grab. Really, they could just support, they could make a really good COD and support that for 10 years, but they never will. It just comes out every year. So that's probably not the best example. But like, you look at CD Projekt Red and they've turned Cyberpunk around, but you look at those investors, I kind of just want this to be an example for people in the actual dev teams, if that makes sense, to when their investors are saying, no, you have to get this game out this year, you need to finish it and get it done. I want there to be an example, and this is the example where those, the people at CD Projekt Red could have said, look at this game, they didn't rush it out, they took 7 years to make it, and it won Game of the Year in the most stacked year of gaming. It's not any year. This is not just some random year. This is the best year in the history of gaming. And yeah, I just want it to be, it's more just the happy story that all these, like, Alan Wake 2 is kind of in the same category, to be honest. But you look at these, right? Huge Nintendo franchises. Mario, everyone knows Mario. Every single human being knows who fucking Mario is. I dare say pretty much, I don't know, even people who aren't gamers, everyone knows of Zelda. Probably not everyone knows of Link, the character, but people just think that Link is called Zelda. So everyone knows of Zelda in that sense. So those are huge games. Everyone knows Spider-Man. And then we've got Resident Evil, which is a huge franchise, like, in itself. None of these games need to win. They've all got enough praise. They've all made their money and stuff. For me, it's like this game, and I haven't even played it. I'm not even like shilling about this game. It's just a happy story for me that it's like all these massive franchises and the little underdog came along in the most stacked year of gaming, and I think will clearly win it. I don't even think it's close. I think I'll be shocked if it doesn't win. Not fully shocked because, like I said, it is the biggest year in gaming. So like, Spider-Man 2 also deserves to win it. So if that won, I wouldn't be like shocked. But I just mean, I just think this game will fucking dominate pretty much. And so anyway, that's why I'm voting for it. But I also, there's really none here that I wouldn't vote for. Even like Resident Evil 4, I don't agree with the remake being in there. But the original Resident Evil 4 was like, people say that's one of the best games ever made. So I'm not even mad if that was to win it. But yeah, I'm going Baldur's Gate 3. And it's weird because I haven't even played it. And I loved Spider-Man 2 and did play it. And I'm not even voting for it. It kind of seems a bit weird in that sense, but I'm also going to screenshot. Oh, you can just save it. Desktop. And I put that on Twitter. Oops. Which one of me? There we go. But that is my voting all done, boys. I think, yeah. I'll go through them quickly. So, Game of the Year was Baldur's Gate. Best Game Direction, Zelda. Best Narrative, Spider-Man 2. Best Art Direction, Hi-Fi Rush. Best Score and Music, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Audio Design, Dead Space. Best Performance, Cam Monaghan, my boy. Innovation in Accessibility, Forza. Games for Impact. I can't even remember what that was called. Terra Nil, that's right. Best Ongoing, Fortnite. Best Community Support, Cyberpunk. Best Independent Game, Viewfinder. Best Debut Indies, also Viewfinder. Best Mobile Game, Monster Hunter something. Monster Hunter Mobile, maybe it's called. Best VR and AR is Resident Evil Village. Best Action Game, Armored Core 6. It's kind of, I'm actually realizing as I'm doing this, it's kind of, I have a weird memory where I can just remember all these games by the cover without even the title. Best Action Adventure, Spider-Man 2. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Fighting, Street Fighter 6. Best Family, Mario. Best Sim Strategy, Company of Heroes 3. Best Sports Racing, Forza. Best Multiplayer, Diablo 4. Best Adaptation by a country mile, The Last of Us, by the longest margin you can ever imagine. Most anticipated game, Outlaws. I don't think that actually will win, but I could be wrong. And then Content Creator of the Year, Cypher. I couldn't tell you what I voted for here. That's Valorant. I don't know who. Oh, that's Imperial Hell too. Don't know the rest of these, to be honest. And that is my voting done, boys. Yeah, the best adaptation. It was not even can't even tell you what the other ones were. That movie is fine. Gran Turismo, I haven't seen that, but I've heard really good things. Twisted Metal looks cool. It's just not even close. These could all be fucking 9 out of 10s and it doesn't matter because this is just so much better than the rest of them. Didn't even read it. I just saw The Last of Us and was like, yep, that's my vote. That for me is the best. I think this might be a really, really hot take. I personally think that's the best adaptation of anything in the history of adaptations. I'm including Lord of the Rings in that. And I know that sounds nuts. What I mean by that is mostly the original compared to the adaptation. Because I will say Lord of the Rings books are really good, but they're very old. They're kind of written in a weird way that they're not. I personally don't think they're that good to read. Whereas the movies is the best trilogy of all time for me. But I genuinely think that if you take The Last of Us game and The Last of Us show, that is a better combo than the Lord of the Rings books and the movies. That might be a super hot take, but that shit was just phenomenal. They made the game better somehow through the show. Like, it just absolutely killed it. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Fight Club was a book. You've learned me something new there. But that's it for the voting, boys. Hopefully, I'm gonna do that every year. That was good fun. I've often streamed the actual Game Awards, which I will be doing for any of you who want to watch the Game Awards live. I usually stream it, and will be streaming it again this year as it goes live, so we can watch the whole thing together and then have a chat about all the winners, as well as like they show a lot of new trailers and stuff like that. So that will be December 8th for me, so 7th for most of you guys, I would say. If you're interested in tuning in, be sure to turn on those notifications. Stream is ending, so there finally gets out of her meeting. Rough. That is very rough. I will be streaming. I want to be consistent again, so hopefully there'll be more streams to tune into. I know, because you get motion sickness, don't you, Saldair? There's like, with shooters and stuff, you can't really watch them without feeling sick, which that sounds like torture to me. I cannot. If I couldn't play games, man, fuck. Or some games anyway. That would be it. Astronomical L for me. So I don't know if you'll be able to tune into like the COD streams and whatever other games we play, but even if you're just not watching and listening or whatever, third person's better. Okay, that's good. There's gonna be I do want to stream some stuff on this channel too, like single player games and all that. For now, it will probably unfortunately be mostly like first person shooters and stuff, because it's a bit easier to stream multiplayer games than single player games. But yeah, hopefully in the future there'll be, especially like one day once I'm full time again, I'll probably do like a lot of streams on like single player gaming, and all the big games. I'll stream all that as well, so there will be plenty. I think I adjust a little as I play more of them. Gotten some very light stuff the first few days of some of the Assassin's Creed games. Oh, okay. There you go. That's interesting. I think like with COD, it probably is just because there's so much fucking movement, especially like me being a little sweat sprinting around, bunny hopping and shit. It's probably not ideal for someone with motion sickness when you compare it to like a slower game like Red Dead 2 or something, where you're not so quick. I guess that's probably a big part of it. Hey, thank you, Vic, my man. Appreciate that. I'm very happy with how they all came out. It's good that it saved me a lot of time that it's just the same across each channel too, but it's just different colors. It saved a fucking lot of time. But I think with that, boys, we are going to call it there. I will be back, like I said, on December 7th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then in between now and then, I'll probably still be... Like, I think I'll stream next week. I might even play a bit of Warzone next week. I'm not too sure. But regardless, there will be streams. So keep your eyes peeled across this channel and the other channels as well. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. And I will catch you guys at the Game Awards on December 7th. Peace.